the Dabar Chawanprash model, the youngest member, the most active member of our team, I would say he had kept us on our toes for this successful execution of today's program. His indomitable energy and zeal for work made everyone pull up their socks and work wholeheartedly for a successful launch of the program. We are very grateful to you, sir, and we are also grateful for the wishes that you have sent us and the hearty welcome to all our luminaries. On behalf of the whole team of this program, I take this opportunity to welcome our chief guest, Professor Nageshwar Rao sir, CA Atul Gupta sir, our special guest of honor, CA Dr. Sanjeev Singhal, Mr. Manoj Kapoor, Professor S.P. Agarwal, Principal, Ramanujan College, Professor Anjali Gupta, and all the team members, and of course, all our lovely and lively audience. I feel greatly privileged now to call upon Professor S.P. Agarwal, the dynamic principal of Ramanujan College. Professor S.P. Agarwal radiates energy, enthusiasm, and enterprising spirit. He's an epitome of hard work, effort, and perseverance. As the head of the institution, he made sure that the college surges ahead, and one can say with pride that it has been able to nudge many of these, not just the South Delhi colleges, but also the North Delhi colleges out of the race as well as the pace. Professor Agrawal is an able administrator, erudite scholar, an alumnus of University of Delhi with his PhD tucked away from United States of America. He has authored many books, published articles, and guided many PhD students despite a hectic schedule of administering the college. A man with a rare combination of humility, subtlety, discipline, dedication, and above all, the most important, a calm and relaxed personality. Sir, we are extremely grateful to all the support that you have always given us in these programs. And now I request you to kindly address the audience.
Thank you, Rekha ji. As usual, you have been very kind on me. Thank you very much once again. First of all, good afternoon and welcome to all our special guests and mainly the participants who have joined us in large numbers from all over the country. Professor Nageshwar Rao, not only a top educationist, but the right person for this, course which he will be inaugurating today. CA Atul Kumar Gupta, Mr. Manoj Kapoor from Texo, Rekha Dayalji, Anjali Gupta, my colleague Ashima, Sonia, and participants. Once again, I welcome you on behalf of Ramanujan College in this 2-month online certificate course on fundamentals of GST. Friends, let me tell you that Teaching Learning Center Ramanujan College has trained about 2 lakh teachers and students in last 3 years under this banner and in various areas. I mean, you name anything and we have done it. Almost more than 1,000 programs we have organized and we have reached to 2 lakh, teachers, students, and professionals. Now, the idea behind launching this course on GST, actually, though we are all academicians and always I feel that academicians have a limited role to play in academic world, because unless until these students are exposed to professionals, exposed to practice, exposed to the real world, the education is not complete. Of course, we are teaching GST from books to the students, but that is not enough. So with the help of the professional and Taxo Academy, we have joined hands in order to reach to each and every teacher, student, professionals who really require knowledge in this area, mainly in the form of practicing the GST. If you see all the contents and themes of the course, they are completely practical oriented. We are teaching very little theory. Of course, background is important. Most of you know the theory, but we will be practicing with you and making you a professional, either to work independently, to work with other professionals, to work with the industry, or you can do of your own. So that is the objective for launching this course, and we have brought teachers, students, and professionals together on one platform with the help of this course. So that is the objective, and I'm sure we have achieved to some extent that thing. And probably in coming months we will be launching more courses in this direction, and you will understand that what is the quality and how you will be benefited with these courses. Another important thing, though I'm not a professional in that direction, but the only thing I can say that our purpose, as I said, is specifically to reach each and every student, to each and every teacher and the professional. Now, in this direction, the best practitioners have been brought on this platform, like CA Atul Gupta ji, who are practicing GST over and over again for the last, since it has been launched. So they know the real thing, what is happening. They know the recent changes also, because changes are happening very fast. So unless until they share their knowledge with these people, it is not complete. So you will understand that how it is different from the classroom teaching. So friends, with this background, I would say that all of you, who have joined us this course, around 200 students, teachers, and professionals, please go through each and every aspect very carefully. Talk to these professionals online or offline when they will be talking to you the practical sessions, and they will be taking the other sessions with you, and also clearing your doubts, very important. And do the practice at home, so that you can bring your knowledge, you can discuss with them the various aspects, because in spite of the fact that everything is in the domain, in the knowledge domain, most of us are not perfect. So let us refine our knowledge after talking to each other, after discussing with each other, and after your good queries raised, so that we also learn, and in the process you also learn. So with this, once again, I welcome all the participants, and I'm sure by the end of these 2 months, you will be a thorough practitioner. Thank you very much. Over to Rekha ji.
Thank you so much, Professor S.P. Agarwal sir. I think rightly pointed out that today's time requires an intense and in-depth knowledge of the practical aspects rather than the theoretical models. I think, sir, we do hope that as your vision and mission is, that we reach every student, every professional, and that is achieved through not just these courses, but I think through the multiple courses which are going to be launched soon by Ramanujan College. Thank you so much for your very encouraging words. Uh, we have with us, I hope, our president of the Indian Accounting Association NCR chapter, CA Dr. Sanjeev Singhal, has joined. Anjali,
No, ma'am,
has
not
sir
yet.
been able to join?
No, ma'am, not yet. He'll be joining soon. I just talked to
Soon.
him, ma'am.
Okay,
Him.
then since Sanjeev Singhal Saab is also in Hyderabad, but he has very kindly agreed to address the audience, so we shall call him as and when he's able to join. In the meantime, we have with us Mr. Manoj Kapoor, who's currently the CEO and co-founder of Texo and has been looking after the organization for more than 1 year, focusing on skill and employability. Mr. Manoj Kapoor has been able to create and fill the vacuum between the theory and the practice in terms of the tax knowledge. Taxo, as an important and prominent player with the solutions on GST, has been able to start its endeavors and initiatives in not just India, but even outside India. Mr. Manoj Kapoor has more than 24 years of experience
वो
and has
कुछ नहीं
worked
हुआ
with
रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए
several multinational corporations and corporate houses like Vodafone, Idea, Aditya Birla Group, Airtel, Z Group, and KK Modi Group, to name a few. He is also an associate member of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India since 1999, and with a vast knowledge of multiple domains of finance, marketing, and operation, I'm sure he'll be able to throw light onto what we are going to embark upon. Thank you so much for being with us. And I now invite Mr. Manoj Kapoor to please hold the fort and address the audience.
Yeah, good afternoon all. It is our immense pleasure from the Texo side to launch this 2-month certificate course with the collaboration with the Teacher Learning Center, Ramanujan College, Delhi University, and IIA. And I want to say special thanks to our chief guest, Professor Nageshwar Rao ji, and guest of honor, C. Atul Kumar Gupta ji, to grace this occasion and spare some time for the today event. And also want to say thank you to SP Agarwal sir, JL Gupta ji, and Rekha Dayal ji, and Professor Ajli Gupta ji to mentoring us to launch this program. As all of you know that we come up with this 2-month certificate course on GST. And when we think about any course, then 2 questions always comes in our mind. First question, why this course? And second is the why from this organization. To answer your question number 1, I want to share 2 data points. One data point is that already more than 1.4 crore assessees in GST is existing, and every month 2 to 3 lakhs new assessees are coming. And second data point is that indirect tax revenue of the total revenue is also grown up by 5% in the last few years. This is clearly indicate that the focus of the government is also on the GSTs. So potential of employability become very humongous. That's the one reason we launched this program in the GST. And second, to answer the question number 2, want to share some more facts about our course. As you are aware that this course is UGC approved recognized certificate course, and students get the certificate with the stamp of the Ministry of Education, University of Delhi, IIA, and Texo Academy. And third point, the faculty who is teaching us is also has the matter, and we are blessed. We have the mentorship of Atul Gupta ji, who is the leading this from the front, and giving us the students the guidance to learn about the GST. And because he belongs from the industry, so job portal is the one options we also giving to the our students, because with this job portal, employability is which is our top agenda, is helpful to the students. And last point I want to share is the very economical courses anybody can join, and the job oriented courses. And this is the from my side, and I want to say thanks to all the participants who spare some time to join this program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Manoj Kapoor. And I think uh, looking at the growth of the assessees as well as the growth of the indirect taxation in the country, it is imperative that such courses are launched, not just in a small measure, but I think these should be launched at a very greater level. Thank you so much for this endeavor. It's a great pleasure to call upon CA Atul Gupta ji, our special guest of honor, for his keynote address. He is the former president of Indian Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He is also on the board international member IFAC and ex-BRL. CA Mr. Atul Gupta is a partner with Upra and Associates Chartered Accountants. He has held many prestigious positions, namely, as I said earlier, as the president of the ICAI he has been the Central Council member for a long period of time and has served as chairman of the Northern Indian Regional Council of Institute of Cost Accountants of India. He has a string of qualifications starting from BCom honors to being an FCA, FCMA, also holds a degree in law, MIMA, CIQA, and PGDMM, the postgraduate diplomas. C.A. Atul Gupta ji has published many articles in newspapers, magazines, and professional newsletters and delivered more than 1,600 seminars all across the country. These have been not just on GST, but on many other subjects in the domain of finance. Yes, GST remains his forte. He's also a member of the International Federation of Accountants, a board member, as earlier mentioned, of the XBRL, director, ESG Research Foundation, and has been on several government regulatory and accounting boards and companies, namely SEBI. He has been a board member of the SAFA and many others. C. Atul Gupta ji has made an immense contribution to the society and economy through his mentorship programs and has launched the MSME checklist, worked on the skill-based projects, and many other initiatives which could help the youth of the country. We are extremely grateful for your presence today, and I request you now, sir, to deliver your keynote address.
Uh, Thank you, Madam Rekha Dayalji, for a very kind introduction. At the outset, my regards to the Professor Nageshwar Rao ji, the chief guest for the day, Professor S.P. Agarwal ji, as rightly mentioned by Manoj ji, the director of the TLC and the mentor of this Principal Ramanujan College and the mentor of this program, Manoj Kapoor ji, other professional colleagues in absentia, Dr. J.L. Gupta ji, Dr. Sanjeev Singhal ji, who is the president of the IIA North India chapter, and all my respected colleagues. As rightly initiated by Dr. S.P. Agarwal ji and then Manoj ji, that we all agree with this factual position that today there are more than 1.4 crore assessees are there who got registered with the GST department to charge and pay the GST to the government exchequer. And that's why we see the buoyancy in the collection of the revenue. And today, if I share with you that the maximum contribution in the budget, in the finance bill of our country, that is coming from this particular sector, that is the goods and services tax. When you have this much of a number of assessees registered with the department, the dependency of the government for the revenue collection on a particular sector, and then there are the frequent amendments to offer a seamless environment to the industry and the other stakeholders, it is obvious that there are the tremendous opportunities available in this particular sector, not only for the professionals, for the stakeholders, but also for the young chaps, the youth, for the more and more employability and the scalability in this particular area. And that's why I'm happy that the Delhi University, which I used to always say that we should be focusing more on the practical side, more on the, I will say that the industry oriented side, rather than on a theoretical side, that has launched this particular program, wherein more and more practical illustrations and the case studies will be discussed to explain and deliberate on the subject matter. My dear friend, I will just touch upon few aspects of the GST as being invited to speak in this particular occasion. That normally, but we will say that the GST is applicable on any supply. So if you are doing any supply, it will be subject to the GST, and there will be certain classification based on the HSN, so that you can understand what will be the right rate of tax. But the matter is not so simple. When we subsume more than 17 different laws, which were there prior to the introduction of the GST, may it be the excise duty, service tax, VAT, octroi, entertainment tax, and many others. They all got subsumed into the GST, and now we have only the two law. One is the custom duty, and the another is the GST.
Sir,
Manoj?
I just request you to please unmute, sir. Manoj, sir. Thank you, sir.
So
Apologies for that.
So when we agree with this aspect, that after the subsumation of the more than 17 law into the GST, in the indirect taxes regime, we have only the custom duty vis-a-vis the GST, wherein because of the federal nature, the GST is further divided into the two parts, that is the central GST and the state GST. There are many things which we should learn on a practical side of the law. I give you the 3-4 example. Number one, that whenever we have a case that, okay, somebody is asking for you that what will be the rate of GST on my activity, whether it is a supply of goods or supply of service. Normally what is happening, Professor Saab, that we are straightway going to the checking the rate, but we never assess whether the activity is the taxable supply or not, because the law never defines what is taxable supply. That defines only a supply. So I used to define that the taxable supply should be equivalent to the A plus B minus C minus D. Now this term or this equation is not there in the GST law. But what I try to convey, that when I'm saying the A plus B minus C minus D, the A stands for the supply. Meaning thereby, if an activity to be a taxable supply, it should be a supply first. If the activity is not a supply, how it will be a taxable supply at all? And when I'm saying supply, that required the 5 essential characteristics. That number one, there should be a sale, exchange, barter, disposal. Number 2, of goods or service. And number 3, for a consideration. And number 4, during or furtherance of business. And number 5, by a person. Now, I will not give you the more technical details, but just to share with you that at times when we are discussing whether the activity is subject to the GST or not, first of all, we should understand that the activity of supply, of sale or exchange should be on the goods or service. Now, let us assume that, okay, I'm selling an immovable property for which the completion certificate has been obtained. Now, that is neither falling under the definition of goods nor a service, like an actionable claim, like the money, like the shares. Now, if I am doing that, there will not be any case of a GST at all. Number 2, the consideration. Now, normally, Atul Gupta, whenever going to deliver a lecture, is charging, say, example, 10,000 rupees. Now, but this program, because of the alma mater, I am going to deliver in the Delhi University, I am not charging anything. But normally, it's my business that, okay, I will go deliver a talk and charge 10,000 rupees. But because there is an absence of the consideration, even if I am delivering a lecture, it will not be subject to the GST, because the consideration is a primary requirement for an activity to be a taxable supply. So what I am trying to convey you, my dear friends, that gradually we should learn that we should not be jumping straight away on the rate of tax, that what rate of tax will be applicable. First of all, we should understand whether the activity is a tax supply or a taxable supply or not. Where is the quid pro quo? For example, I am getting the donation from the government of India to teach the street students. Now, I am not rendering any service to the government for which I am getting the money. Meaning thereby there is no quid pro quo. Then the activity will not be a supply because there is no rendering of these services. The another aspect which I wish to touch upon here for the benefit of my colleagues who are attending this program, what we should learn is about the rate of tax. What is the rate of tax? It's okay. There are the HSN classification. Now all the goods and services are being classified through the HSN or the service accounting code, and you can go and check the rate of tax. Though that is also very, very technical, but I am not touching upon that. What I am trying to convey you that there are the situation when you are getting the pair of socks free of cost with the purchase of shoes. Now the socks is attracting a GST rate of, say, for example, 18%, whereas the shoe may be attracting at the rate of 12%. you are getting the set-top box free with the purchase of the TV. Now the TV attracts the GST at the rate of, say, for example, 5%, and the set-top box attracts the rate of GST at the rate of 28%. Now I'm going to a shop. The shop is saying that 20,000 rupees is a TV cost, 3,000 rupees is the set-top box cost. Now they design a marketing strategy. They are saying purchase a TV for 23,000 rupees and the set-top box is free. Now what will happen? What will be the rate of tax which will be applicable? So normally, if we are not aware, we will say the TV rate is 5%. It will be subject to the 5%, 23,000. But there is a provision under section 8 of the GST which talks about the mixed supply. When you are selling the two different products artificially bundled as a one product, there is no necessity. If you are going to buy a product which is essential with the other, for example, I am buying the milk, so I need to have a carry bag. Now the carry bag is essentially attached with the purchase of the milk. So even if there is a separate rate of tax for the carry bag, it will be the milk rate which will be applicable, meaning thereby there is a principal supply with which the another supply is getting naturally bundled. But the TV and set-top box is an example when they are not naturally bundled. There is no principal supply that the TV is a principal supply and the set-top box will be ancillary to that. They are the two separate commodities which are artificially bundled. And in that case, that will be called as a mixed supply and the highest of the rate will be applicable. So that the TV rate is 5% and the set-top box rate is 28%, on this entire value of 23,000, it will be the 28% rate which will be applicable. But normally, in the absence of the literacy, in absence of the knowledge about the subject, normally what will happen? It will be the 5% everybody will be charging or will be suggesting. Likewise, I can give you the third example that normally in the GST regime, when since it is an indirect tax, say for example, I am rendering certain services to Rekha ji. What I will do, I will charge the GST from her and will deposit to the government exchequer. But there are many services and even goods are there. When I am supplying to somebody, say for example, I am an advocate. I am supplying certain services to Rekha ji as a consultant for some litigation related issues. Now in that case, it will not be the Atul Gupta as an advocate will be charging and paying to the government exchequer, will be collecting and paying to the government exchequer. It will be the responsibility of Rekha ji to get registered herself and pay on behalf of on behalf of the advocate under the called as reverse charge mechanism. So meaning thereby, out of the 100 odd services, there are 5 such services. For example, I am telling you that 5 or 10 services are there wherein the GST will not be paid to the service provider. It will be directly paid to the government exchequer by the service recipient. And if he or she fails to do so, in that case, there will be the penalty provisions, there will be the interest liability on the service recipient. So my dear friend, normally what we are discussing, what we are learning, that GST is like collecting and paying. But here we should also learn that, okay, no, it's not always true. That there are the cases when you have to. The another example, you receive the advance. For example, I have to render certain services to Anjali ji. Now, she is paying me some advance. For example, the total value is 50,000. She paid me 20,000 rupees advance in the month of March, whereas service will be delivered in the month of May. Now, when the liability of the GST will accrue, whether I have to pay based on the advance or I have to pay the GST on the basis of the May, then when I will be rendering my services. So if the advance is related to the goods, the GST liability will accrue in the month of May, whereas when I will deliver the goods. But whereas if it is the advance related to the services, the GST liability will accrue in the month of March itself. So there are the different provisions when you are getting the advances in case of in the regime of GST. Last but not the least, the technical part, that I am getting the set of the credit. For example, I brought certain goods. I do the value addition on the same. For example, I purchase the goods worth rupees 1 lakh. I am paid the GST at the rate of 18%, 18,000 rupees. I paid the GST when I purchase the goods. Now, when I am using this raw material of rupees 1 lakh, I made the 2 products from that raw material. One is taxable, another is exempted. Okay. And then do the value addition. My total value is 2 lakhs rupees, 1,50,000 taxable and 50,000 exempted from the GST. Now, when I am meeting my output liability on rupees 1,50,000 rupees, I am eligible to claim the set off. That is called the ITC, input tax credit, of that 18,000 rupees I paid on the purchases. But whether I can take the 100% of this 18,000 rupees, the answer is no. Because the section 17(2) read with the rule 42 and 43 says that now, since your output liabilities, output activities are divided into the taxable and exempted in a ratio of 1.5 versus 1.5 lakhs and 50,000, meaning thereby I am eligible to claim the credit of only 75% of the total credit, because my output liability is also 75% taxable, 25% exempted. So what will happen? Out of these 18,000 rupees, I can claim only the 12,000 rupees credit against my output liability for this turnover of rupees 5.5, 1.5 lakhs. Say, for example, on 1.5 lakhs, again, the rate of 18% is there, meaning thereby my output liability is 27,000, but I will be eligible to claim the credit only of 12,000 rupees rather than 18,000 rupees. Now, where it is written? It is there in the rule 42 vis-a-vis the section 17 subsection 2. So, my dear friend, what I try to convey you in this with these 4 examples, that it is not that okay, somebody will read the only the theoretical part and will become the master of the subject. If you want the employability, you want the scalability in a very, very promising sector, I used to say the sunshine sector of our economy. If you want to get the employability and the scalability, you want to make a career, whether you want to start your own as a tax practitioner, you want to join as a professional, you want to do the work in the industry, there is a lot of, I will say, the depth required for the subject, and that depth should be on a practical side. You should understand what are the practical scenarios, that is we call the case scenarios, that what are the various case scenarios are there based on which I will be able to understand that okay, the depth of the subject, and then only I will be able to become more employable, more scalable career which is offering from the GST. As rightly mentioned by Agarwal Saab and the Manoj ji, there is a no dearth of, I will say, the jobs, that there is a tremendous opportunities available. Even today, I can tell you, even if there will be the 1 million accountants will be available who understand the GST, there are more than 2 lakh chartered accountants who are into the practice, cost accountant, company secretaries, advocates. Everybody is looking for the 2 to 3, I will say, the trainees who understand the subject. And I believe under the edges of all these, today the Ramanujam College, the TLC, the IIA, Professor Vice Chancellor Saab, IGNOU, everybody joining hands. And I believe that they will be able to contribute a skill-based employment in the times to come. And that is, I believe, is the key. When we are looking at 5 trillion economy or a 10 trillion economy, I believe the key is that we should have the skill-based youth who understand who have these requisite skills to deliver, to understand the responsibility and to deliver. They have the capacity to deliver the things that ultimately the economy is looking for. And I believe, I congratulate both the organizations for launching this kind of activity. And I'm happy to be happy to be the part of this. I'm aware that we have the shortage of time, so I will just squeeze my deliberation here, maybe for some other time. And once again, thank you to Dr. Professor S.P. Agarwal Saab, the Director TLC and the Principal Ramanujan College, J.L. Gupta Saab, and everybody for giving me this opportunity and the honor to be there for this inaugural session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Atulji. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Senior Atul sir. I think it was really an honor and pleasure to listen to you. So lucidly, you've explained the concept in such a short spell of time that I'm really looking forward, and I'm sure the students are looking forward to having the longer deliberations from you, whereby they could easily have an in-depth knowledge and study of this. Thank you so much for being with us and for joining us in this program. I'm very happy to see that our president, CA Dr. Sanjeev Singhal, has joined from Hyderabad. He's the chairman of the Sustainability Reporting
Dr. Rekadiyal, may I request you to
standard
kindly
board.
skip the introduction.
He's all, no,
Uh,
sir. I'm sure the
no, no,
students are
no.
also
Actually,
waiting to
yeah.
know
No, no,
the
no. See, there
president
is a
of
shortage
Indian
of time
accounting.
also.
Yeah, I'll
There
just
is a
take
shortage of time
2 minutes.
also. No, no,
A
no.
single.
My request that for this particular program, leave the introduction.
All right. As the president of the
Thank
Indian
you.
Accounting Association, NCR chapter, I request our
Sure.
very, very able and an erudite scholar, Shri C.A. Sanjeev Singhal to address the audience. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Rekha Dayal, Professor Nageshwar Rao, the chief guest for the program, Dr. S.P. Agarwal, the force behind these training programs, the evergreen Dr. J.L. Gupta, and the ever-smiling Dr. Rekha Dayal, and the very hardworking Dr. Anjali Gupta, and the entire team, and my dear participant. It's a pleasure. It's indeed a matter of great satisfaction that the Indian Accounting Association Ramanujan College are organizing this 2 month long program on GST. I'm sure that this will go a long way in skilling up the academicians and others who are joining this course. This is indeed one of the most pioneering initiative of the Ramanujan College and IIA, the NCR chapter. And this gives us an idea that there's a need for more such programs, and it will be our endeavor to do programs around the other themes, whether it is direct taxes, whether it is Ind-AS, whether it is artificial intelligence, blockchain, etc. So we will bring together the best of the faculties, and I hope that more and more participants will join this program. I mean, right now the number is in hundreds. I believe that this number could easily be in thousands, because the need for skill is there for everyone. And with this kind of expert lineup and this kind of a pricing, I don't think any other institution, not only in India but across the world, will be able to offer such quality faculty and such a wonderful course. I would leave it for the experts to take up the course, but my compliments to all the participants who decided to join the course, and I would really urge them to encourage more and more participants to join such courses. And my thanks to the entire management, who work very relentlessly for organizing these programs. My job is just limited to giving the inaugural speech and the concluding speech. It's the team that does all the hard work. So all credit to them. With this, Dr. Rekha Dayal, I would like to hand over the screen back to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, C.A. Sanjeev Singhal for joining us and for your very encouraging and kind words. And I'm sure that as the president of the Indian Accounting Association NCR chapter, you will take this forward with many, many more programs along with TLC Ramanujan College and Texo Academy. Thank you so much for being with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of each one of us, I heartily welcome Professor Nageshwar Rao, sir, our chief guest, for today, who has joined us from Hyderabad again, and we are extremely grateful to him for sparing his valuable time and being with us. Professor Nageshwar Rao, Vice Chancellor, Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi, which is I would say, the largest in the world as a distance learning education center. Professor Nageshwar Rao is a professor of management since 1990 and a fellow from ICMA, Kolkata. Professor Rao served as a teaching faculty at the University of Allahabad, Banaras Hindu University, and Vikram University, Ujjain. His illustrious career includes leadership positions as Vice Chancellor of UP Rajarshi Tandon Open University, Uttarakhand Open University, and presently, as I have already said, the Vice Chancellorship of IGNOU. He has also been with Kumaon University. Professor Rao was also Dean of Faculty of Management Studies earlier with Vikram University Ujjain 5 times and Director of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru Institute of Business Management, Vikram University, for almost a decade and a half. Professor Rao is the recipient of Nehru Literacy Award, Saraswati Samman. He is the Honorary Fellow of Commonwealth of Learning, Canada, and DLIT by the KK Hendeek Open University, Guwahati. This has been for his enormous contribution in the open and distance learning. Professor Rao has also been the president of Indian Accounting Association. And as our patron and mentor, we have had the opportunity of being blessed by him on many occasions earlier. Sir, as always, we feel extremely grateful and gratified by your presence, and I'm sure the audience are waiting to listen to your address. I now hand over the dice to you, sir.
Good evening to all of you. Thank you, Rekha ji, for giving such a gracious introduction. Professor S.P. Agrawal, Honorable Principal of Ramanujam College, distinguished guests, CA Atul Kumar Gupta ji, Mr. Manoj Kapoor ji, CA Dr. Sanjeev Sangal ji, and distinguished participants. It's an honor for me to be present over here and see the progress of these faculty development programs at Ramanujam College. I am not new to this college and not new to these programs. I am always associated with all the programs which have been conducted by the Ramanujam College for the benefit of young learners and professionals. This particular theme, it has got its own importance, and rightly said by Atulji as well as Manojji that this has got enormous scope. When this taxation was being announced, the parliament, it was kept open throughout the night also. It was a historic occasion for the country as a whole. Single taxation for a country. And it has minimized so many procedures, so many bureaucratic hurdles for the smooth conduct of businesses also. As has been rightly said by Atul Kumarji, that this act requires to be studied because it is indirect taxation and its impact is much more on all of us. Till this point of time, people are very, very proficient in dealing with income tax cases, which is constituting only 3 to 4% of our total revenue. But majority of the taxation, it comes through the indirect taxes and that through GST. And through collection of the GST, all states, they get their taxation share. And the points on which the taxation they are being levied, that will be substantially reduced. And as the revenue is continuously increasing, as the government of India and our Honorable Prime Minister is talking about the 5 trillion economy, then all the economic activities, they will go up. All the service activities, they will also grow up. And the taxation issues relating to that, they all are required to be studied properly. And there will be a lot of scope for each one of you to get the suitable opportunities to see the implementation of the GST and also advise our businessmen, other taxpayers, and also tell that what constitutes the tax, what constitutes the tax liability, and when the taxation is to be levied, when the word supply is to be referred in the context of taxation, and when the exemption we are getting for certain supplies. So many issues which have been clarified by Atulji, they all are great importance. This particular 2 months course, it will have a valid proposition for all of you. Online, conveniently, you can have it at your home or maybe at your workplace. Spare some valuable time and you will get the insights relating to the basics of the GST and also the basic procedures for implementation of GST and how to support our business entrepreneurs, even the small entrepreneurs also in this endeavor. Here in this certificate course, the contents are very quite relevant to all of us. They are talking about the basic fundamentals. You're not supposed to become a Supreme Court lawyer for the purpose, because most of our taxpayers in GST, they are representing the lower middle income group or middle income group or the small businessman or the medium class businessman. So for them, the basic requirements, the basic compliances, they all are to be known by you. And that is what this particular course is going to tell you in the days to come. Maybe in the end, there will be some examination. You have to appear in that examination, and then finally the certification will also be done. Even if you are not having that certificate, the basic awareness, basic knowledge of these tax laws, they will help you to comprehend your decision-making process in a much better way. And that is what this certificate course is important to all of us. I am pleased, I am honored, and I am blessed also by the love and affection which the Ramanujam College has given to me. And I must sincerely thank all of you for being present to listen to me. And also I convey my sincere best wishes to all of you to see that how this program is going to benefit you all. Maybe the videos which are being used in this online program, they may be made available to all of you through YouTube. So thereby, whenever you require at a later stage to reuse it, to again recollect it, those YouTube videos, that will also help you, because this is an online program and every program, it has been properly recorded. And later on, it will be sent to you for your further consumption. So that will be a great advantage to you. And this particular program is recognized by the UGC, recognized by the Malviya Commission, because this comes under the ministry directly. That certification is much more important to all of you, at least for understanding the basics and knowing this important tax law of the country. I convey my sincere best wishes to Dr. Gaba Sahab, Rekha ji, and Anjala ji for undertaking this Herculean task to support this spread of knowledge to our young professionals. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you very much for your presence and your nice words. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Professor Nageshwar Rao, sir. I think first and foremost, as Professor Agarwal has already said, we are extremely grateful to you for being with us, for mentoring us, for being our patron, and also encouraging us in our future endeavors. I'm sure under your patronage, the college, the Indian Accounting Association NCR chapter, they will really move forward with many more such programs. Thank you, sir, for being with us. Now I'm very delighted to call upon our young colleague, Professor Anjali Gupta, who's a professor of finance, commerce, and I think she's a jack of all at Atmaram Sanatan Dharm College, University of Delhi, an alumnus of Delhi University of Delhi all through. She's a remarkable person. I would be failing in my duty because she's going to thank everyone. And I think in all fairness, she deserves to be thanked the most as our pivot, as our spinal cord, as our nerve center. Professor Anjali Gupta really shares that position and has always meticulously made sure that all programs ultimately are delivered, executed, planned, and organized extremely well. With her characteristic enigmatic smile, she takes all and the burdens on her very able shoulders and makes sure that even at the last moment, all glitches are beautifully, smilingly covered. I'm sharing one small incident with you today also, despite the fact, because our mentor, Professor Dr. J.L. Gupta, is a hard taskmaster. And yesterday, he had been after our blood and life that till the time the Saraswati Vandana is very well organized, Rekha, make sure that it is done. Anjali sat with me and with another colleague, young colleague Saloni, till late night, and she was constantly working on it. And in the morning, we found it had worked very well. Just 5 minutes before the program, again some glitch, and without losing her cool, I lost my composure because I didn't know how. I was trying to look for some jugaad, something, but she said, "Ma'am, don't worry, I'm going to do it." And sharp at 4 o'clock, she made sure that everything was in order. That's our Anjali Gupta for all of us. Anjali, we are extremely thankful to you for being there and taking in everything, soaking everything, and making sure that the ultimate final product is worth every penny to be fought for. Thank you. Now, over to you for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am, for always appreciating the small efforts that we make in the team. After all, it's a teamwork that the product we are able to deliver. Thank you so much for always appreciating. Honorable Professor Nageshwar Rao ji, respected CA Atul Gupta ji, respected CA Dr. Sanjeev Singhal ji, our very beloved Professor SP Agarwal sir, Mr. Manoj Kapoor, Dr. Rekha Dayal ma'am, and all valued invited participants. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. I, Professor Anjali Gupta, on behalf of Teaching Learning Center, Ramanujan College, Indian Accounting Association, NCR Chapter, Taxo Academy, and on my own behalf, extend a heartiest vote of thanks to all the guests for gracing the inaugural session of 2 months online certificate course on fundamentals of GST between 10th March to 9th of May 2023. First, I would like to mention our very deep sense of appreciation to Professor Nageshwar Rao sir for his very interesting and thought-provoking address. Sir, we are always grateful to you that you're every time and always you are there for us. Thank you so much. Sir has highlighted the importance of taxation understanding for all. Thank you, sir, for appreciating and summarizing the importance and relevance of topic of this particular certificate course, as well as helping me in really introducing and telling that how the course is going to be conducted. Thank you so much, sir, for summarizing the things for us. I would like to express our very sincere thanks to CA Atul Gupta sir for giving mentoring to this particular course. Sir, I take this opportunity to thank you for appreciating our efforts to impart learning in the arena of practicalities of taxation. Sir, in a very simple manner, introduced how tax planning can be done in order to avail the provisions of GST in the most appropriate manner. Also, sir stressed on that improper understanding of GST provisions will result in penalties or for all the assessees. And in a way, it makes further efforts in the direction of ensuring proper learning to GST provisions more important. Thank you, sir. I wish to express our gratitude to CA Dr. Sanjeev Singhal, sir, for pointing out that this course will ensure skilling up academicians and students who are going to be a part of the course. We are really grateful to Mr. Manoj Kapoor, sir, for pointing out the importance of this course on GST. Sir, in a very crisp manner, summarized the purpose and job opportunities related to this GST course. We would like to acknowledge our gratitude to Professor SP Agarwal sir for his dynamic presence and unconditional support in all our endeavors. His presence has immensely enhanced the importance of this inaugural session many folds. Sir has always had the vision of doing things differently, and this time, Sir has taken the initiative of conducting learning through practitioners, for which I use this opportunity and platform to congratulate Sir. Thank you, sir. And thank you, sir, again for being there for us always. Special thanks is in store for our very beloved and our mentor, Dr. J.L. Gupta, sir, for his enormous efforts and hard work, which always ensures positive, encouraging results for all of us in the form of appreciation that we receive from the participant of the different courses that are being conducted by Indian Accounting Association, NCR Chapter, TLC Ramanujan College, and definitely this time Taxo Academy also. A very special thanks to Dr. Rekha Dayal for her pleasant presence and sweet words. And she has a lot of sweet words for me in store always. And definitely her presence is like a shelter in the scorching heat for all of us, which we received whenever we are into the planning of the programs. I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our heartiest thanks to staff members from Ramanujan College, Ms. Sonia Mudal, Dr. Ashima Jain, and Dr. Nikul Rajput, along with Mr. Akhil from TLC for their 24/7 effort. I would like to thank Ms. Juhi from Tax Academy, and she is here, the one who has been working in the background, and definitely special mention to her that really she's working very hard. Thank you so much, Juhi, for always being there for us. And also Ms. Saloni from Indian Accounting Association NCR chapter. They are the front runners in the conduct of this course and always working silently in the background. Thank you so much to both of you also. Finally, I would like to thank all the participants who have turned up in such a good number for this course, not only from Delhi, but from all other parts of India. We thank you so much for all your cooperation. And thank you once again to all the dignitaries for being present here and join us in this inaugural session. And with this, we come to the conclusion of this particular program. Thank you so much, everybody. And I wish a very nice day to all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can I
Thank
add
you.
something,
Thank you, everyone.
Anjali?
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
I
Definitely,
think
ma'am.
just one word for Miss Juhi, because I had gone with her in some colleges, and I must appreciate and definitely put on record here that I have yet to come across someone else. I think, Anjali, there is definitely a good support to you that is going to come from Juhi, because she was, I think, a constant someone who could strive, work hard with dedication and determination, and the smile that she is giving us now, which was there at 24/7. Thank you so much, Juhi, for everything that you have done.
Thank you so much, Ruhi. Thank you so much for being there for us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir. We are, Juhi, sir, can we end the meeting, sir? Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, ma'am.